The man simply waved his hands to hail a car, but suddenly the vehicle was out of control and speed straight toward him. Angry, he yanked open the door to confront the driver, only to discover the driver's eyes had already turned white. Terrified, John quickly grabbed the driver's phone to call for help. Just then, a crow dropped from the sky, catching his attention. As John cautiously approached to investigate, he was shocked to find the crow had died exactly the same way like the driver. Eyes had turned white. This bizarre phenomenon filled him with dread, and he fled the scene immediately. Yet strange and unsettling incidents continued to happen. When he finally reached a restaurant, he pushed open the door and froze at the horrifying sight. A waitress lay sprawled lifeless on the floor. Even more disturbing, everyone in the entire restaurant had died in exactly the same way. They appeared to have been infected by some unknown virus, dying collectively at the same moment. Suddenly, a loud crash outside drew John's attention. Stepping outside, he discovered the driver in a pickup truck had also dropped dead on the spot. Convinced there must be some virus in the air, John frantically tore off his shirt to cover his nose and mouth. He hurried back into the restaurant, grabbed a map, and ran into the woods. Having lost all his memories in a car accident, John could only rely on the address on his ID card, comparing it with the map to finally locate his home. Without keys, he had to break a window to get inside. Everything in the house felt completely unfamiliar to him, but at least he was alone, allowing him to finally remove the cloth covering his mouth. To prevent any airborne virus from contaminating the house, he immediately taped up the broken window. Just then, he noticed a worker repairing a tractor outside. Panicked, John gestured for the man to leave immediately. The worker couldn't hear what John was saying and thought he was calling for help, so he walked straight toward him. Afraid of being infected, John quickly wrote a warning message telling the man to stay away. But the moment the worker read the text, his eyes rolled white and collapsed. Never having witnessed anything like this before, John was completely terrified. The news broadcast happened to be reporting the previous 2 death incidents, and John was shocked to realize he had been at both crime scenes, including the worker who had just died mysteriously. John suddenly had a terrible suspicion. To test his theory, he deliberately went to his backyard and slowly approached a crow. Sure enough, the crow suddenly dropped to the ground, its eyes turning white. John finally understood the truth. These sudden deaths weren't caused by any virus, but by him. He tied one end of a rope to where he stood and stretched the other end to the dead crow, allowing him to accurately measure his death radius. His attention then turned to the worker's body. To avoid unnecessary trouble, he planned to quickly retrieve the body, but unfortunately, a car was approaching. Fearing he would cause another innocent death, John ran away from the vehicle. This mystery movie is called Radius.